A reactant that finishes first, a reactant that limitizes the product, that reactant is known as limiting reactant. It is necessary to find the limiting reactant when two or more than two reactants are reacting together to make a product. Basically, limiting reactant is the reactant that controls or that is the gesture of amount of product formed. Limiting reactant announces the amount of yield that is being formed in that reaction. So when the quantity of the both reactant is given, we have to evaluate which one is the limiting reactant. Then after finding the limiting reactant, we find the amount of product that will be made in that reaction. Okay, there are four steps to make the to find the limiting reactant. Number one, write the balanced chemical equation. Number two, Number two, divide the given moles by a coefficient of the respective reactant from the equation. And same is the case, divide given masses by masses of the reactant from the balanced chemical equation. One thing you keep in your mind, mole will be divided by the moles and masses will be divided by the masses. Number three, reactant leading to the smaller answer will be the limiting reactant. In case if both reactants are giving the same answer, then no one will be the limiting reactant and no one will be in excess. Both reactants will be in equimolar ratio. Let's solve an example. Now come toward the question. Question is, find the mass of water when 100 gram of hydrogen is allowed to react with 128 gram of oxygen. As you know, both quantities of the both reactants are given. No one is announced as an excess reagent. So we will have to find the limiting reactant first. The first step is write the chemical equation. H2 plus half O2 goes to H2O. This is the balanced chemical equation. Here in this equation, 1 mole of H2 is going to react with half mole of oxygen and they are giving yield 1 mole of water. As far as their masses are concerned, so according to this balanced chemical equation, 2 grams hydrogen is reacting with 16 grams oxygen and yielding 18 grams water. Now in the question, we are using 100 grams hydrogen and 1 to 8 grams oxygen. So the first step was to write the balanced equation. The second step is basically write the values, same values from the balanced chemical equation. So I'm dividing 100 from the balanced chemical equation mass from the balanced chemical equation, that is 200 divided by 2. Same is the case I'm doing for the oxygen. At the spot, I'm using 1 to 8 gram of oxygen. So now I am dividing it by the value of oxygen of the mass from the balanced chemical equation, that is 16. Now its answer is 50 and its answer is 1 to 8 divided by 16, that is equal to 8 grams. So as you know, 8 gram is the smaller value. So in this reaction, oxygen is the limiting reactant. So we have found that oxygen is the limiting reactant. Now the amount of water that is being formed in this reaction, that will be totally depend on mass of limiting reactant. To find the quantity of water, I am going to use unitary method or unitary rule. Unitary rule or unitary method. So I'm going to find the mass of water. Water must be on right hand side with respect to limiting reactant, that is oxygen. So once again, I'm going to put the values from the balanced chemical equation. From the equation, 16 gram of oxygen is yielding 18 gram of water. 1 gram of oxygen will yield 18 over 16 gram of water. And now at the moment in this question, we are using 1 to 8 gram. So the finally we will get water that is equal to 18 over 16 into 1 to 8. So 144 gram of water will be formed as a result of mixing of 100 gram of hydrogen and 1 to 8 gram of oxygen. The next question is basically how much excess reactant remain unreacted at the end of a reaction. As we have seen that one of the reactant was limiting reactant, that was oxygen, and the next reactant that was a hydrogen, the other reactant that was hydrogen, that is in excess. So I'm going to find how much hydrogen was used. Now I'm going to compare oxygen versus hydrogen. I'm going to find the used value of hydrogen. So oxygen, once again I am taking the initial values from the balanced chemical equation. From the balanced chemical equation, 16 gram of oxygen equally react or demand the 2 gram hydrogen. 16 gram of oxygen needed 2 grams of hydrogen. 1 gram of hydrogen required 2 over 16. And at the moment, we are using oxygen that is equal to 1 to 8 gram. In this experiment, 1 to 8 gram oxygen will require 2 over 16 multiplied by 1 to 8. 1 to 8 over 8, that is equal to 16 grams. So hydrogen will use 16 gram. We were using hydrogen that was 100 gram in the experiment. Only 16 gram of hydrogen that has been used. So the remaining hydrogen will be 100 minus 16. That is equal to 84 grams hydrogen that will be left unreacted. That is in excess. Next question is in term of mole. Find the limiting reactant if 10 moles of oxygen is allowed to react with 15 moles of hydrogen to make water. Once again, I am going to write the equation. First step is to make equations. H2 plus half O2 goes to H2O. Now this is a very much simple case as far as my opinion is concerned. 1 mole of hydrogen, half mole of oxygen, and there is 1 mole of water that is being formed. Now come towards the given quantities. The given quantity of the hydrogen is 15 mole, right? And the quantity of the oxygen that is given in this mixture, in this reaction, that is equal to 10 mole. So the second step is divide the moles from the balanced chemical equation to the given mole. Given moles divided by the mole from the balanced chemical equation, 15 over 1. And in this case, 10 mole of oxygen we are using over here. 10 divided by the moles from the equation of O2, that is 0.5, half mole. And the answer is 15. And its answer is 20 moles. So 15 is the smaller number. The smaller answer will announce the limiting reactant. So in this case, H2 hydrogen is limiting reactant. Now, if he is asking to find the mass or the mole of water, we will use only hydrogen to find the mass of or the mole of water. This is all about limiting reactant.